Hello and welcome to the WA Building Guide Armadale Edition, and we are in for a treat today. So we have the outside of this house actually starting to look really, really good. Despite the mattress and some of the other play equipment, we're starting to make some real progress here. Gone are the yellow windows that give the house a very old vibe. They are now clear and beautiful all the way across the front of the house. And honestly, frontage is one of the most important things about a house. If your frontage isn't inviting, people aren't going to stop and go, oh wow, that's lovely. This is why when we're looking at sort of, the outside area, we want it to be clear, big, and really nice. If you might see, we no longer have any trees. The trees are gone. The pool is still there, but a lot of the big stuff is now done. And wait until you see inside. It's starting to look like an actual home, really, really. So we now have cornices, and what a difference that has actually made to the house. Skirting boards, cornices, clear glass, it all makes a massive difference. The house feels. And remember this wall, how there was a join? I have to say, Craig has done such a fantastic job of making this seamless. Like, you would never be able to tell that only a handful of weeks ago, this was not connected to this. Now, you have probably one of the better lounge setups that I've seen in a house like this. And I've done quite a lot of research on houses and floor plans recently, especially houses of this age. And this is killer. So, we also have a whole set of kitchen appliances. So we now have inside this kitchen a lot of the flat pack furniture that is being created. So it's almost ready, and the reason it's pulled out to the center is because we still have to get the walls painted. So in this house, the walls are going to be painted, and then all of the kitchen is going to be pushed in, and then the flooring is going to go in. Then all of your plumbers, your electricians will come and do all the hard wiring and everything else that has to be done. But in reality, we're actually not that far away. We've got cold water, hot water, we've got all the wires all pre-done. If you remember, only a handful of weeks ago, we could not stand here without potentially having rodents and debris fall on us. That has now been gone. In fact, the only remnants of this house having the past that it did have is just up here, where we're just one bit away from just finishing off the cornice. And honestly, once that's done, all of this wall has been filled and is now beautiful. So you can really start to see the vision that Joanne and Craig had for this property. It's looking big, it's looking open, and when all of these are beautiful white, it's gonna feel very light and very airy, which is super important because these old houses didn't come with super high ceilings. In fact, it was very uncommon to have high 31 core ceilings that we get in lots of the high-end homes. So to counteract that, these low homes being white and having lots of windows, and honestly, now I'm standing here, the fact that that's not a yellow light coming through really is starting to play itself off. I can't wait to see what's going to happen when the painter has done all of his work here. So something that's really important when we're designing new houses is how high we actually make our ceiling. With these old houses and when you're doing renovations, it's impossible for Joanne and Craig to make this a 31 core ceiling. There just isn't the time or the money for it. The only time you can really do that is when you're actually in the building process before you put the roof on. So when you are building your own home, make sure you always upgrade to high ceilings and high doorways. It gives the house this really elegant feel. Wide doorways, high ceilings, high doors give an air of luxury. When this house went under offer all these weeks ago, it had over 40 offers as it was, and as it was not mortgageable because there was no power, there was no water, there was massive damage to the ceiling. It wasn't even a house that you could mortgage. And unfortunately, a lot of first home buyers, they would have put offers in not knowing that. And that's why it's so important to really understand when you are putting in offers for a property, what is actually going to get accepted, what the banks want to see. And if you haven't ever had any advice on, how to actually manage the banking process, what a letter of eligibility is, what a pre-approval is, what formal approval is, what settlement is, what you need to do during settlement, why it's a really bad idea 3 months before you're actually going to settle to start betting on sports bet. I've seen people literally lose prime houses because they haven't been mortgage ready. So if you have any questions about mortgages, or if you want any advice, just make sure you click the link down below and I'll give you all the advice I can.